All right, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Let's take the music down. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. For anybody new here, please allow me to introduce myself. Hi, I am Maggie, your substitute teacher, and I would like to welcome you to what might become a new series. I had a special request from someone who asked me to review a movie, and we're going to talk all about the movie. Because there's a lot of teachable moments in this movie. So no cooking tonight. You can sit back and relax. We are going to talk about Mr. Malcolm's List. And you all know I have a cooking channel. I also have been on my own Etiquette and Elegance journey. And then I have a relationship channel as well. So I see Rita in the back. This is going to be audio only. So I'm going to bring Rita up and I'm going to have her introduce herself, whatever she'd like to say. And then since she has sponsored this stream, I want us all to understand what Rita wants to get out of this stream, and then we will get started. So let me bring her up. Rita, are you here?
Good afternoon. Well, good evening, Maggie. Yes, I am here.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to have you. Please introduce yourself to the class, whatever you'd like to share. And since this was your idea, can you let me know what you asked me to do tonight?
Hello, Maggie. Hello, everyone. I am definitely glad to be here. So, similar to what Maggie did for Crazy Rich Asians, I would just love to see and just to watch her do a breakdown also of Mr. Malcolm's List, because I thought that there were many key moments that are similar to what we saw in Crazy Rich Asians.
All right. So for anyone who is not familiar, and Rita, you are welcome to stay on. You're off camera so we can talk as much as you're comfortable. So let me bring you all up to speed on what Rita is talking about, because I know we have a lot of new scholars here. And then I'm going to take a stab at this movie that she asked me to watch. So I have 3 YouTube channels, and we will take a look at the roll call in a minute. I have 3 YouTube channels. So Maggie the Substitute Teacher is my cooking channel, and you all know I am sugar-free, dairy-free, and gluten-free. A lot of you all found me there. We will be cooking again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. I have another collab with Cooking with Aisha. We'll be making some sushi, so you can check the post for that. My second channel, I stream there twice a month, and it's Teachable Moments with Maggie. And I have been on my own etiquette and elegance journey because I want to refine and keep my softness. And so I was using those streams to share with you all what I had been learning on my journey. And one of the etiquette teachers that I study under does a movie review. So I took the idea from Jamila Musayeva. It's in her Patreon. And she would review movies that had moments of good etiquette and bad etiquette, because we can learn from all the different formats. And one of the movies that either she mentioned or I saw on a plane, I can't remember, was the movie Crazy Rich Asians. It was a love story, a comedy, romantic comedy. An American woman of Asian descent met a man that she did not know was wealthy, and then went home to, I believe it was Singapore or China, to meet his family. So there was cultural, there was wealth, there was dining, there was all of that. So that stream is still up. If you all want to see how I broke it down, you can check that out on my page. So I've been working with Rita, and she asked me to kind of do the same for a movie called Mr. Malcolm's List. Now, I don't know if anybody, I was just about to ask, has anybody ever heard of this movie? Geneva says, I haven't heard of this movie. Well, you are not alone. I had not heard of this movie either until I talked to Rita about it. And since she is the stream sponsor, I need to put her in the ticker. I will put Rita in the ticker. I'm going to give you all the premise of the movie, and then I am going to play the trailer for you. So we have about a 2-minute video to watch. So anybody on Instagram and anybody on TikTok, if you want to see the screen share, you can come on over to Facebook or YouTube, Maggie the Substitute Teacher. So here's the premise of the movie and what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, Rita. So the storyline goes as this. It is a period piece, which means the movie is set in 1800s London time. And there is a wealthy man, or soon to be wealthy man, named Jeremiah Malcolm. He is going to be inheriting quite the estate. And of course, he's handsome and has dashingly good looks. So if you are a fan of Bridgerton, you will like this type of film. Very diverse, very fun. And so, of course, all the women in society want to be chosen by Mr. Malcolm, and he has quite the reputation for going around and being a little bit of a heartbreaker because the women get their hopes up, and then he takes them out on one date, and for whatever reason, they do not get asked back. So what happens is that it is found out that Mr. Malcolm has a list of 10 requirements. And if you all are watching on YouTube, you see the poll, go ahead and vote on the poll. Mr. Malcolm has a list of 10 requirements that he expects for his bride to be. And so he is either checking off or scratching off items on this list as he dates the ladies in town. So while you all are listening to this so far, if you think it's okay for men to have a list of what they want in a woman, just like a lot of us ladies may have a list, please put a yes or a no in the chat, or you can do thumbs up or thumbs down or check mark or X. So the story goes as this, and you all will see in the trailer because I am going to play it for you. One of the women that he went out on a date with is, I believe her name is Selena in the movie. Of course, she wanted to be chosen, but for whatever his reason was, he did not choose her, and she left heartbroken. When she found out about the list, she decided to do something very masculine and pay him back in a bad way. Ladies, we don't do that. We exit with grace. So she conjured up this story with a childhood friend of hers from a small town, humble beginnings, very beautiful, but kind of naive, to bring her into the city and let her go out with Mr. Malcolm in hopes that he would fall in love with her and propose to the friend. And then what was supposed to happen is that the friend was supposed to break his heart and turn him down so that he could experience what it feels like. So you all see the premise of this movie, very Cinderella, very Bridgerton. So what I wanted to do in this stream, and there are moments of etiquette and elegance that we can point out as well, but what I wanted to use tonight's stream is to go through his list of 10 requirements and give you all some tangible examples of what we can do and what we should avoid in order to hopefully be selected if that's something that you want. So I'm going to pause there. And Rita, let me know, what do you think so far about what I've said? Tell us what you thought about this movie and if you like this approach for the review.
Thanks, Maggie. So I really enjoyed this movie, and I really do think your approach is definitely probably the best way to look at it because we're examining his list and basically how Selena is able to fulfill each requirement as needed in order to trick him, so to speak.
Yes, there was definitely some trickery going on. So everybody sit back and relax, get your beverage. I've got my Walmart water. We're going to take attendance. So that's what we're doing tonight. So this is a first for me. Sharita is our stream sponsor. So I am going to put her in the ticker because she brought this idea to me. And she made it possible for me to see this movie. So I would love you all's feedback as the channel is growing. Y'all know we're only a year old. Last month I had 2,000 subscribers. Excuse me. And this month I have Y'all, we are on another watch. I am going to check right now because we're approaching another milestone. We are approaching 30,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, you all. So who knows? It probably won't happen during the stream, but I have been told I can celebrate 30 and then that is it until 50, 75, and 100. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that is new here. So we are going to review. We're going to look at Mr. Malcolm's list. Hopefully, Rita, you can stay on and we can chat about it. We'll go through them one by one. There are 10 items on his list. And it's fun, but I think it says a lot about how women have changed, but men have not changed. So everybody's welcome here. And I would love to know you all's thoughts about the list and if there's anything that we missed. Okay. So let me take attendance really quick. Let's see who we have here on TikTok. We have Rayjon's Journey. Thank you so much for being here. I miss it on TikTok, you all, because it pops up and it goes away. So if I'm not staring at it, I'll miss the name. So thank you so much for being here. All right. Let's see who all we have on IG. We got a lot of people here. And again, this is a first. So if you all like these movie reviews, I used to do them on my Teachable Moments channel. Let me know, and I'll continue to do more. We got Luke Hazley in the house. We have Eugene. Is that desk self-care, doobie philosophical cooking, two sips, JB Man, Cutlass, Moses, blush and bashfully, hello my dear, analytic concepts, Shelley, analytical again, Kelvin, Aveda, get it from Dejra, Gold, and Hilly. Thank you all so much for being here. And then I am going to take attendance and see who all we have, Facebook and YouTube. We got Mallory in the house. Mallory says, hello, everyone. Hello, my dear Mallory. Wilbert is here. Greetings to you, sir. We have Casually here. She says, howdy. How is everyone this fine Tuesday? I'm doing well. I hope you all are as well. Geneva says, good evening, Maggie. Just being honest, I'm disappointed. No cooking show tonight. You've got me spoiled. Ah, oh, yes. I know you all. We are figuring this out as we go. But Rita brought this to my attention yesterday, and I stayed up late last night and watched the movie. So feel free to give me the feedback. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I want to make this a good experience for you all. I used to keep my 3 channels separate, but everything is kind of bleeding together now. But I promise we'll be cooking. You'll have a cooking collab tomorrow with me and Cooking with Aisha. So you all check my community tab. We're doing sushi, and you will be able to see the recipe and the ingredients, because I know some of you all want to cook with me and Aisha tomorrow. All right, so that's going to be Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. So no problem. Thank you for letting me know. Linda's in the house. We have Najia. Thank you so much for being here. She says, hello, alien girl is here. Hi, Maggie. Hello, sweetheart. Christine is here. My first time seeing you. She says, good evening, Maggie and everyone. Hello. Geneva hasn't heard of it, so we will start with the trailer. We have King in the house. He says, Maggie, thank you so much for coming in with the smiles. Lauren is here. I need to make the post, you all. Lauren has come up with a cruise option for us in the November timeframe. It'll be a birthday cruise for me. We won't take too much time in this stream, but I will post. It's a Royal Caribbean. I think it's 4 days to Coco Cay out of Port Canaveral. If you all are interested, I think we have 16 slots available. So stay tuned, more to come about that. Lauren is our travel agent in the community, and she's going to be the one managing all of it. We have Mickey and her in the house. Hello, my dear. Linda hasn't heard about the movie either. It just came out last year. All right. So this is new for me as well. And I just watched it last night. We have Chuck in the house. He says, it's my first time seeing you here. Hello, sir. He says, do you think older black and white movies naturally have better etiquette? I do. And you all have seen me, even with the pearls, but I am a woman of a particular age. Y'all know I'm 47, but I do like the throwback movies, Dorothy Dandridge, of course, Marilyn Monroe, just some of the 1950s. You all know that I love the West Side Story dresses. There's just something about, for me, the traditional gender roles that are just so wonderful. Thank you for the question. Kia says, hello, Maggie in class. All right, I forgot the question already. Oh, yes, you all like this format. That was my question. Oh, no, it wasn't. Yes, men should have a list. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. We have Lisa the housewife. Christine says it sounds interesting. Mecky says exit with grace. Yes, use that. You all know that I'm a boy mom. I was married at 25 to my now ex-husband. I met him at 18. Married for 10 years, loved being married. I got caught up in that modern woman mindset. And so unfortunately for me, it did end in divorce, but it doesn't have to be ugly. We co-parent really well. So I don't regret, 2 children from marriage and been in a long-term relationship since then. So you can absolutely carry yourself with grace. And a course will be coming. We got All About the Mac saying hello. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody saying hello to each other. Thank you for subscribing, Christine. Yeah, let me refresh you all. We're getting close to another milestone. Can y'all believe it? King says, you will have my support no matter what you decide, Madam Maggie. I love that. Thank you, sir. I'm here to learn from your feminine energy. And yes, ladies, pay attention. You all know my channel is happy, wholesome, and family friendly, whether we're talking about cooking, whether we're talking about femininity, whether we're talking about relationships. Everybody is welcome here. But this is not the first time we've had a few men say even they like the space that we create. All right. All right. So Christine is new, happy to be here. And Lisa's interested in the cruise. Yeah, I haven't posted anything about it yet. November 27th through December 1st, if you all want to do a Maggie meetup cruise. All right. So that's a lot. I'm going to put Rita in the ticker as our sponsor, but I am going to share my screen. So this is about 2 minutes. Hopefully I don't get a copyright on it, but I'm going to pull up the website, the official website, and then we're going to play the the trailer for the movie. All right. While I get my Walmart water in a glass, drink like a lady. You doing all right, Rita?
Yes, I am, Maggie. Thank you.
All right. All right. So you all should be looking at the, let me take this down and I'm going to go full screen so you can see, just looking at the, uh, the outfits and the decor, you can tell that this is a period piece. All right. So I'm going to take myself down and give you all full screen.
We can hear you, Maggie.
Unmute myself. All right, so hopefully you all were able to see and hear the trailer. Unfortunately, you weren't able to hear me until I unmuted myself, but you all can see that it's a beautiful period piece. It's charming. You can kind of see it's a rom-com, but you understand the premise now. So I am going to pull up Mr. Malcolm's list, and I'm going to pull up the website and just take you all through a few pictures, give you a little bit of an elegance and etiquette tip, and then we will go through his list. And I would love to know what you all have to say about the list as well. All right, so I know, unmute yourself. I'm telling you, y'all, one of these days, if I haven't said it before, I'm not a professional. Clearly, right? All right, so let me share again. And again, anybody on Instagram and TikTok, feel free to come over to Facebook. All right, so let's go through and take a look. You can see here in 19th century England, jilted by London's most eligible bachelor. Oh, her name is Julia. Julia convinces her friend, so the friend is Selina, to play the role of his ideal match. Soon, Mr. Malcolm wonders whether he's found the perfect woman or the perfect hoax. Well, I'm telling you. All right. So what I wanted to show you all, there is a section here with some photos. So these are just still photos from the movie. So you all can see the decor, very English. You can see the clothing, very 1800. So I'm just going to scroll through some of these. And there is one picture that I want to show you all from the tea. And this movie is available. I think I watched it on Amazon Prime, but the movie is available on Hulu and a lot of different places. All right, so this one is near and dear to my heart. So you can see Julia on the right, and you can see Selena, her friend, that came from the country to London. So this is Julia, the one who had her heart broken, who has come up with this scheme, and this is her friend Selena. Notice that they're sitting down and having tea, and you all know that I'm a huge fan of tea. So Rita, I'm going to ask you, I'll quiz you, and then you all can let me know. So if you notice, they are holding their teacups and they are holding the saucer with the teacup. So Rita, I'm going to ask you, is this correct etiquette to hold the saucer, or is it incorrect etiquette, and why?
I'm going to say that it is correct because I believe it's supposed to be paired together constantly.
Ding, 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 ding. Give her a round of applause. You got it correct. So yes, ladies and gents. So you all know that I'm a big fan of going to afternoon tea. We've talked about several different tea dining documentaries that I've done. If you're interested in experiencing afternoon tea, you can check any of the luxury hotels in your area and ask if they have afternoon tea. When I do my etiquette and elegance classes, they give us homework assignments, and some of the homework assignments are for us to put ourselves in these type of environments where we can practice what we've learned. So go to the ballet, go to the symphony, go have tea, go eat in a luxury restaurant, that type of thing. All right. So what I wanted to point out to you all here, Kia says you knew that as well. Wonderful. All right, so notice how they are sitting. So they are sitting at a table, and it's a little hard to see, but you can see over here in the corner that the tea service is at a low table. So imagine you're in someone's living room and you have your regular seating, and then you have the coffee table height, which is different from, imagine, like a dining table height. So you all know the difference that I'm talking about. So if you are seated at like a dining table height, in that case, you would leave the saucer on the table, and then you would bring your glass. I'm drinking water out of a stemless wine glass, but you would lift up the teacup. And remember, ladies, we always take small silent sips. And then you would return the cup to its saucer on the table. The only time that you would pick up the saucer, and it is proper etiquette to pick up the saucer because they do stay together. I need to have props with me now. If you are served at a low table like these ladies are, or if you are let's say you're doing tea at a garden party or somewhere where you're walking around. So I'm sure you all have been to those events where they have the high like bar. I'm sure there's a name for them, but you all know those type of tables where you kind of mingle around. Then you would keep your saucer and your cup together. All right. So just a little edit. Who do we have here? Oh my gosh, I feel like I need to go turn the air down already. Thane, you all know him and you love him coming through. He says, Maggie, watch Pride and Prejudice from 2005, Keira Knightley and Matt McFadden. Yes, sir, I will add that to the list. So if you all like this, I do have a Patreon. It's free, almost free. It's $1. There's a $1 level and a $5 level. I am creating a community of those of us who are interested in this type of refinement, and I post every day on the Patreon, and we will have more of this content offline because not everybody is ready for the camera. But yes, I have lots of tips for you all there. So I will add Pride and Prejudice to the list. Thank you so much, Thane. Great job. Rita. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I want to show you all here. We have our teacup, we have our saucer, we have our macaroon. Lovely, lovely pastry. All right. So they went to a masquerade and a beautiful embrace on the dance floor. All right. So just more pictures from the movie and some behind the scenes. All right, everyone. So now we are going to move on to Mr. Malcolm's list. So you've seen the preview and you've heard my recap from it. And now I'm going to pull up his list and we are going to discuss, we're going to define some terms that may be a little bit old English, but I want to see how relevant it is to today and what you all think about it. All right. So let me see here. I'm going to share. Where's the photo? Okay, I'm gonna have to open this in a tab. 1 second, y'all. Bear with me. I have a photo of the list and let's see, it's window. All right, we'll just go, no, I don't wanna do that. I wanted to be able to zoom in on it for you. 1 second, y'all. Images. All right, let's see if this works. All right. So let's see if it'll let me zoom in. I had it blown up pretty big. I was trying to see, but I don't think it's going to let me. Let me see if I zoom in for you. No, no, it won't. It won't zoom the picture. Okay. So 1 second. All right. So the first thing, I'll just go through it. You all can see the picture, but I'm just, oh, it did. Okay. And I know it's in a script, which is really hard to read. So I'm going to read it. We'll go through them one at a time. So the first, what it says here, Requirements for a Wife by Jeremiah Malcolm. First, handsome of countenance and figure. Okay, now let's talk about that first. Handsome of countenance and figure. You all like this stuff? Lisa says this is my sweet spot. Okay, so let's break this down, everyone. Handsome of countenance and figure. I am going to get the actual definitions for you, but I would love to know if you all were to put that in today's language. What does handsome of countenance and figure mean to you? I'd love to see it in the chat. Handsome of countenance and figure. All right. So when I Google the definition for handsome, of course, we know there is a masculine definition of handsome for a good looking man. Cinchi coming through has returned. Oh my gosh, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the $20 Cash App. He says, "Hey, Auntie." And I am old, y'all. I'm a woman of a particular age. But thank you. Thank you for the $20 super chat. I'm glad you're back, SNG. We missed you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is incredibly generous. All right. So Lisa has something in the chat. What does Lisa say? Attitude and looks. All right. So when we Google the word handsome, the second definition means substantial. Okay. So if you're talking about money or something like that, if it's a handsome majority, that's the example, that means it's something substantial. So when we look at handsome of countenance and figure, so countenance is your face. And not only just your face, but how you present yourself. Ladies, this is incredibly important. I have been told I don't mask well. You all have seen some of the viral videos going on where I'm looking kind of crazy. When I hear something crazy, it shows. But it's really important how we show up in a space. It's really important that you greet people with kindness. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Lisa. I appreciate it. So let's talk about that. And this is the first thing on his list. So this is 1800s England. But even today, men are visual. They are who they are, and they're not going to change. So you're born with the looks that you have. You're born with the facial features that you have. But do you smile? Do you mean mug? Do you frown? You can really, really change the space by how you show up in your face. Now, your figure, y'all know that's an issue for me, fit, feminine, and friendly. But how we look is important to a man, and men have their preferences. But I'd love to know what you all want to say, what you all say about this in the chat. And Rita, I would love for you to share. So for the first one, handsome of countenance and figure. What are your thoughts on that one?
For me, my thoughts are that we should just do a good job of taking care of our physical appearance, our face, our bodies, how our appearance, and I know that's going to come up later as well. So I definitely agree.
Absolutely. So 200 years ago to now, to probably 2,000 years ago, I made that mistake, ladies. I used to think that my accomplishments counted more than they do to a man, and that was wrong. I think my accomplishments are great for me. My accomplishments are great for my parents or my family or anybody who's, proud of me. But it's important if you want to be selected by a man, because men do the choosing in relationships. And if you want to keep the man that you have, it is important to keep yourself up, right? So you all know what is entailed in that, but it's the number one thing on his list. So let's see what you all say in the chat. Thank you, Mickey and her, for the $2 super chat. She says, thank you for covering this. I'm so glad you all like it. We're doing this for the first time. So this is our movie review with a little bit of femininity, elegance, and etiquette. And relationship all rolled into one. So our channel is evolving, and the men, I'd love to know, when it comes to countenance and figure, which is face and body, feel free to share your thoughts on that. Mel says, so basically be as attractive as possible. And I love that, Mel, as attractive as possible. And, men like what they like, but give it a little bit of effort. You all know I have a very simple routine, but I do try to show up as my best. And one thing that I do, especially as a busy mom, as an older woman, even though I may feel tired, I make sure that I give my man the best. I don't let the world get the best of me, the job, the obligations, everything, and then I'm worn out and not pleasant when he comes around. All right. So Thane says, nope, I forgot the question, but remind me. Jesse says, for women, looks, elegance, and being dignified is important. Wilbert says, they may not call me handsome, but I can Y'all know our class clown. Wilbert says, they may not call me handsome, but I can eat some ham. Let's move on. What does Thane say? Countenance plus figure plus demure plus pleasant plus modest accomplishments equals meh. All right. Centennial D says dapper, calm, laughter, and wisdom. Okay, ladies. So those of you all who are interested, the men are telling you what they're looking for. Awesome. Let's move on to number 2. I'm going to see if I can read this old English. I'm zoomed in over here. Let me just zoom in on my side. I wasn't able to share this picture, but we're going to move on to number 2. And number 2 says graceful and well-mannered. Graceful and well-mannered. All right, y'all, let's talk about this. This is a big one for me, and I've shared with you all, I've been on my own journey, and at my larger size, it was harder for me to move as elegantly as I want to. So a big part of my, you know, work in my feminine space has been having more delicate movements. I didn't realize that, when I would get a drink, I would kind of set it down hard on the counter. Sorry if that was loud. Or just open a cabinet hard, jump in a car door. Like, I didn't realize that all of those gestures were so masculine. And so hopefully you ladies are realizing there's a lot that you can do for free. And this is the kind of stuff that you will see on my Patreon. There's a lot of free content out there, you all. I've invested in a lot of classes because I want to get as best, I want to be my best. But I'd love to know, what do you all think it means? So Rita, I'm going to come to you for number 2, graceful and well-mannered. What are your thoughts on that one?
I definitely agree with you, Maggie. Just pretty much stating just being elegant. Just in all your actions, you never know who's looking, who's watching, and in practicing at home so you can master it when you're outside as well.
I love that. And Rita said something very, very important. She says, you never know who's watching. And ladies, men are always watching. And we've talked about this on my relationship channel. And you all know I'm a big fan of the late, great Kevin Samuels. But one of the mistakes I believe that women make is that saying, well, I'll soften up when, or I'll submit when, or I'll be elegant when. The problem is, ladies, men are always scanning the environment. I had to learn this too. I just skip through life like everything is great. Men biologically are just, they are always staying in the bushes. They're always looking for the enemy at the gate. So unfortunately, a lot of times your behavior can disqualify you because the man that you may want is watching you from across the room, and he's counted you out because you're moving like a dude. And men don't want to be with someone that reminds them of themselves, right? Our femininity truly is our superpower, because men want what they don't have. So trying to be one of the boys or one of the dudes and just be masculine and loud and swearing, men see that and it doesn't draw them in, it repels them. And then the other thing, like Rita said, you never know who's watching. Oftentimes when you are out, you represent, if you're in a relationship, my guy and I were talking about this week, we all think Michelle Obama, and it's not anything political, but we understand the role of the first lady. Well, every man is looking for his first lady, right? You are going to be the feminine asset to his brand. So are you carrying yourself in a way that he can say, that is my woman, and I trust whenever she's out, she's not going to do anything that's going to embarrass me or bring shame to the family. And speaking of family, his friends and family are watching too. We have people in this community that are always watching from the clouds. They make it a safe space for us, but my commitment to them is I'm never going to do anything to embarrass myself or make you all have to clean up my mess. So let's take a look at the chat and see what you all have to say about a woman being graceful and well-mannered. So number 1 was your face and your figure. And number 2, are you graceful and well-mannered? Oh my gosh, I'm going to get hot again. Y'all know. Okay. Dang. Thank you. $100. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I was not nervous, but I appreciate you so much. I don't take it for granted. Y'all don't even have to be here. And then you come through and you are such a blessing to me, and you all resonate with what I'm saying. I didn't think anybody was going to care. This is just something that I've privately been nerding out about. But for you all to be here and to come up with these ideas and to be part of this community, it's not just me. I appreciate you so, so much. All right, let's see what else the chat is saying. Oh my gosh. Let me go back. I'm gonna have to get up and turn off the air. Okay, so Sinji, you were talking about the traits that men have. Yes, so in this movie, for anyone who just hopped in, there's an eligible bachelor who has a list for the woman that he wants to choose. Jesse says, is that chivalrous is also important for men to be? Okay, so ladies, we've had our space and we've had our list for a long time. Today we're talking about how we can measure up to the men that we want or the men that we have. Sin says, for our queens, when the beauty fades externally, does it preside internally? If not, you're not worth the attention. I love this right here. We all want to be beautiful, right? But you all know I'm 47, right? And we all age. And there are things that used to be high and lifted up that shift and move, especially if you've given a man children and all of that. But to Sinji's point, men know this. So we are not fooling anyone. I'm not saying don't present your best self, but if you go to the extreme with extreme shapewear and, Spanx and, ridiculous makeup or, surgery, do whatever you want. It's your body. But just know this, the men that you want or the men that you have, they know and they expect that you are going to age. But will you age gracefully? And as you age, the beauty that was on the inside remains. So let's focus on what really matters. Thank you, Sinji. Ooh, Thane Mithra says poise. Ladies, we're going to be talking about that on my free Patreon. Poise is so important. How do you carry yourself? How do you show up in this world? Do you represent him well? I love that. What does Christine say? I never thought about the impact of our daily gestures. Yes, yes. This is the stuff that I share in my, etiquette and elegance classes. One of the assignments that I had, I talk about these assignments that I have, was to record myself. And being a YouTuber, I don't know if Rita wants to share, but some people are interested in having YouTube channels, and it's a very harsh reality sometimes. I go back and I watch myself on stream and I say, oh my goodness, is that what I look like, what I sound like? But that was one of the assignments that we have in elegance class. Record yourself. And I'll give you all this tip. If it's too hard to see yourself, record yourself on audio. Just speak for about 5 minutes about a subject that you are passionate about and just record it on your phone and then play it back and listen to it as an audience person. And then ask yourself, how is my communication? Do I finish and make my point? Am I a little bit all over the place? Do I speak too fast? Do I speak too loud? These are all things that I've worked on and I've shared with you. I got feedback that I shout when I talk. Who wants to listen to that nasally, like, oh? But you have a decision to make. Once you're presented with the information, then you can get better. And that's what I've done. So that's what I share with you all. I didn't wake up like this. I'm not a 10. I'm just an average older woman, and I'm trying to maintain my softness and be the best version of myself. Let's see what else you all said. Sinji says, have a cookbook. Y'all already know Maggie has a cookbook. Link is in the description. There's your discount code. But yes, y'all know the men like to eat because y'all like to eat too. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm behind, y'all. Let's see what else. Kia says, graceful and well-mannered is being gracious and elegant at all times. Don't be loud and hard. Yes, ladies, there is a way to do everything with grace. Now, of course, when you're home and you're by yourself, you may be a little bit more relaxed. But like Rita said, the more you practice it when no one's watching, it becomes more automatic when people are watching. So yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let me put Rita back in the banner here because she brought this idea up, and looks like you all are enjoying. All right, here I come, y'all. I'm so bad. I need to get quicker on this. Okay. Twilight Reveries. Hello, ma'am. She says, hi, Maggie. Can anyone tell me the names of the other channels? If you're talking about my other YouTube channels, yes, I'll pull it up for you. Maggie the Substitute Teacher is my cooking channel. That's this one. And then Teachable Moments with Maggie, I will drop it in the chat for you. That's where I have more elegance and etiquette and femininity content over there. And then the Wives Club is my relationship channel. So Teachable Moments with Maggie, I stream twice a month. So I'm going to drop that one down for you. And then the Wives Club, we stream every Friday. All right. So there is teachable. Oh, sorry. Let me copy that link for you all. Yes. And feel free to ask. Oh, gosh, what in the world? Feel free to ask your questions. All right, so there is my Etiquette and Elegance channel, and then let me give you the Wives Club, or if the moderators are here, I'm so used to having to do everything. The moderators can drop the channels as well. And they're also in the description, okay? So in the description of this video, you will find all of my channels. And if you want to book a session and the link to this movie. All right, what does Sinji say? I've seen that all the time in the military, especially with our Air Force pilots and operational careers, trying to fit in by all the drinking, loudness, and at times debauchery. I'll pass. Ladies, listen to the men. This is not me talking. The men are telling you, especially if you're in a masculine environment. You all know I work in technology. I am a boy mom, 2 teenage sons. I work corporate. I've been corporate for 20 years, and we've talked about this often, that sometimes you don't even know the environment that you're in kind of comes on you. And I'm embarrassed to say, I remember coming home and just kind of barking orders. And my husband at the time was like, I don't work for you. And I had no idea that I was coming across this way. So, ladies, especially those of you all like me that might be in a masculine environment, because I want to keep my softness, I'm very intentional about doing the things like this that keep me in a feminine space. So don't try to be one of the boys. They don't like it unless you want to be friend zoned. All right. Oh, thank you so much. All right. So you all are saying, Centennial made pancakes for Hannah's breakfast. Is that your beautiful bride or your baby? Twilight says, thank you. You're welcome. Yes, such a gentleman. You all know Thane. He's always here. He's in the bushes, in the clouds, on the moon, everywhere. He is a boss in our community. What does Lauren say? Our cruise consultant. She says, you only have one chance to make a first impression. It is important to realize we have to represent ourselves at our very best at all times. I was listening to one of my etiquette teachers today, and you all, everybody has a personal brand, whether you are a public figure or not. When you step out of the house, you are on display. And I used to dress for comfort. I used to get caught up in just, oh, it's stretchy and it's comfortable. I hired a stylist to understand my body type, to understand what looks good on me, what I should wear, what I should not wear. And she said something I'll never forget. She said, somebody's always seeing you for the first time. So if you want to avoid running into somebody and saying, oh gosh, no, I hate that you saw me today, come up with a routine, and what they call it a capsule wardrobe, but come up with a routine that you can easily do from day to day that presents you well, is easy to maintain, and you look presentable. It doesn't have to be red carpet ready. All right. Lisa says, I'm going to watch this movie tonight after the live. I can't believe I missed this one. I didn't know about it either. So thanks to Rita for bringing this to our attention. You all love these movies? Yes, Thane has his money. He's got a lot of it. Hello, Miss Strong is here. Top Lobster. I don't know if I've seen you before. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, Thane is mining for vibranium. Yes, we have East Africa in the house. I'm your West African connection. I've been to South Africa. I'll be in Egypt next year, but that's not really North. Lisa says, preach Maggie, I'm taking your advice. You all like this? All right, I'm coming through the chat. We have Murphy Omni Essence. My first time seeing you here. Welcome. True beauty is the inner essence of purity, proportionally manifesting harmoniously. All right. Being graceful and well-mannered are symptoms of that same beauty. Absolutely. Ladies, what's on the inside is going to come out. I'm really intentional about creating a space that is peaceful and harmonious, so that's what you all experience. Yes, smile, ladies, smile. It's free. I make it a point, especially when I see a hardworking man. I saw a man, he had on one of those reflector vests, so he might be like a construction worker or whatever. And he was at the bus stop. And I was driving and I came to a red light and he was just right there. And, old Maggie would have just been in my own world and just do what I do. But I made a point to look at his direction, make eye contact with him, and just smile. And he smiled back. And that was it. And the light turned green and I went on and I felt better. And you could tell he felt better just by being seen. It's not hard to do. All right, we got Whitney in the house saying hello, everyone. Sinji says, when my daughter's of age, she's going to protocol school, elegance, Toastmasters while we raise her right, give her the best of the best while I'm on this earth. Demonstration is key. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. Jesse says, funny enough, Maggie always sounds very soft on the live. I wouldn't have ever thought of her being loud. Yeah, you all, I mean, you are seeing, I don't know if it's Maggie 2.0, maybe Maggie 1.5. I'm on a journey. You've never arrived, but it's important for me, for the older women, to teach the young and to tell you all what I've done right and what I've done wrong. But yeah, that corporate competition really got the best of me. The pandemic helped me so much. Rita, you might be able to relate to some of that. All right. So we got the channels. All right. Just going through the chat. Look at Thane, y'all. Thane says, girls these days are calling men bro. Ladies, language is so important. I know we all have our slang and whatever you want to say, but anything that reminds you of the barbershop, it's not elegant. I wouldn't call another man bro. I don't even call my brother bro. He calls me sis, though. All right, let us continue. Casually says, yeah, reputation is very important. Listen to the men, ladies. Yes, I have heard this expletive as well. Don't even get me started. Let me say one thing about the swearing, and then we're going to go on to number 3. Ladies, swearing is very masculine. I don't care if you think it's cute. I don't care if this is how people talk where you come from. It's very masculine, and it shows a lack of sophistication. Because if your vocabulary must be limited to swear words for you to express yourself, that does not speak highly of you. So find other words to use. Now, of course, when you're alone, do what you want to do, but publicly, no. Shelby says, I'm sorry, I'm late finishing up some work. Hello, lovely Maggie. Thank you, sweetheart. Let's continue, everyone. All right, so number 3, so we've gone through number 1 and number 2 on his list. I'm going to read it to you all because I've got a zoomed in version over here. Number 3 is educates herself by extensive reading. Oh, I forgot to plug up my, hold up, y'all. I didn't plug up my computer. We're on battery power. There we go. Number 3, educates herself by extensive reading. Okay, so this is on Mr. Malcolm's list. Now, I have some thoughts about this, but Rita, I'm going to come to you first. What do you think about Mr. Malcolm's number 3? How would you translate that into today's world? And y'all in the chat, I'd love to know what you think, and then I'll do the same. Go ahead, Rita.
I think the educate yourself by extensive reading in terms of finding your partner, if that's what you're looking for, is more so for conversation, so not to bring too much of what your work into that relationship, more so just being able to make him look good in certain environments, being able to just hold yourself and hold yourself well in the conversation.
Absolutely. And thank you, Eric. I see your comment. You saw me on the podcast. If you all want to see the screen share, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. And we're doing a movie review. Thank you, Miss Strong, for the $4.99. She says, taking notes on this list. Absolutely. And I dropped the link in the, actually, I'll put it in the chat so you all can have it. It's just a Twitter image if you want to zoom in and have it for yourself. So how would I modernize this one? So his number 3 says, educates herself by extensive reading. Now, you all know we're in the modern age. And to me, it could be reading, it could be audiobooks, it could be a podcast, it could be any type of self-development that's more than just pop culture. Look at your social media feed. What are you taking in? What music are you listening to? Of course, no one is telling you to be a prude, but if all you watch is housewife reality shows, are you better for it when it's done? One of the changes that I've made, ladies, I mean, you all know that we are home and of course we can spend our time how we want to, but I have unsubscribed from certain channels, YouTube channels. I have stopped watching the news 24/7. I am just very selective and protective about what I allow to come into my personal space. Now of course I love a good laugh and that, but when it's all the time, I started to notice that when I would watch certain things or listen to certain things, when it was over, I felt worse than I did going into it. And I'm very intentional about what I do, not only edifying me, but edifying you all. And so over here, you will always have content that I hope you take something away from. So Rita said something that's very important. You want to find the balance, ladies, between being well read and being well informed, just enough to be conversational without being competitive or overpowering the conversation. When I used to watch TV, sometimes I would watch some of these dating shows where they would, let a couple go out on a date and they'd have a camera there. How normal is that to watch the interaction? And oftentimes you would see modern women, if a man said he got a promotion, well, I got a promotion, last month or whatever. It was just always this tit for tat. Ladies, being competitive and being the know-it-all is not only not attractive, it's very masculine. So one of the things that I try to do is I respond when I have been asked. If you all notice any of this advice or anything that I do is because someone asked me. Rita asked me to review this movie. When we do our open Q&As, I never want to come across as a know-it-all. Of course, I've got life experience. If it's helpful, I'm happy to share. But if people don't put it on them, especially as a lady. All right, let's see what else you all have. Miss Strong says, I don't read a lot. It takes a lot for me to sit down and read a book. I don't read either. I listen to audiobooks because I could do other things while I'm listening. She says, but I love documentaries, podcasts, and articles. Absolutely. Y'all, on all of these TV devices, you can watch documentaries. Y'all remember the Earth series? Just have something of interest to talk about. So if you are, and it doesn't just have to be for relationships, it could be for dating, it could be if you have a job interview, it could be if you're meeting the in-laws or the potential in-laws, if you have someone who wants to invest in your channel, just being a little bit more informed about what's going on in the world. When I was coming up, my dad made us watch like 10 to 15 minutes of the nightly news every night. And I was like, Dad, he's like, you need to know what's going on in the world, Maggie. Okay. Sin says Maggie's hitting bars. Y'all, I didn't even know what that meant. I'm not cool. I didn't know if we were talking about handlebars, candy bars. I didn't know, but thank you. Becky says podcast, YouTube, go to the information instead of what comes to you. Yes, thank you, Becky. And another thing, you all know about this algorithm. I've got a couple viral videos now, so we have a lot of new people here. The more you search for something, the more it's going to come to your feed. So you all know if you're shopping for something and then the next time you go to Google and then there's an advertisement right there, it's not by mistake, right? So when I started my etiquette and elegance journey and being intentional about looking for this teaching, more of it started to come to me. All right. So if you all want a deeper dive, you can join my almost free Patreon. All right. What does Spain say? He has a simple rule for social media: garbage in, garbage out. Ladies, the men are telling you. So if you enjoy a little ratchet or something like that, okay, I would probably keep that to myself because the men really don't care. Talk about it to your girlfriends. But when you watch this movie, you will see Mr. Malcolm asking some questions about current events. And one of the women got disqualified because she made up an answer. She didn't know anything. What does Whitney say? Me too. I haven't had IG, Facebook, Snapchat, or anything for 5 years. It's wonderful. All I have is YouTube, and sometimes that's too much for me. Yes, y'all know about these YouTube streets, but I have all of it. But if you all look on my social, even before I started my channel, it's been food and the kids. I'm a mom who cooks, so that's what I do. Miss Strong says, I actually kept my personal YouTube separate from my business YouTube. Some of the content on YouTube is trash, and I don't need negativity in my life. I love it. Whitney says, what's funny is that my family and friends keep saying, just make a family page. She says, nah, I'm straight. It's totally up to you what you want to share or don't share, but with social media, a lot of times, y'all, less is more. It is a tool. You can use it to learn. You can use it to connect with people. You can use it to learn how to cook, um, but it can also have a very dark side, but it's not over here. We are always the happy, wholesome, family-friendly side of YouTube. Sinji, thank you for the heart, says, love languages, know them, it's important, and regard them. Yes, y'all know I love everybody, but love up your men. Absolutely. Hello, everyone coming in. Lisa has an Audible account that keeps her grounded. Yes, the last books I read were read to me. Kia agrees love languages are important to know about your significant other. Yes, how about that, ladies? Study your man or the man you want. I noticed you were interested in this property. I got a flyer for you about a house that's getting ready to go on sale. I'm not sure if you're interested, but I just thought I'd drop that here for you. That's what I do. All right, exactly, Miss Strong. Keep business and YouTube separate, business and personal separate. It's a lot of negativity. Jesse says being cultured is also important. All right. Sinji says, is this movie on Netflix or the theaters? I am going to drop the link for you to the actual page, Mr. Malcolm's list, so you can see. I watched it on Amazon Prime, Sinji, but it's also available on, oh, it's right here, Paramount, Showtime, Hulu, so much. So I'm just going to drop the link, and it's also in the description, but I'm going to give you all the actual list in the chat so you can see how you can watch it. All right, so let's move on to, I think, number 4. All right, let's see here. What is number 4? Let me go to my zoomed in version. Y'all know I'm old. All right, number 4, converses in a sensible fashion. All right, Rita, I'm coming to you. What do you think that one means? Converses in a sensible fashion. And y'all in the chat too.
I'm actually not 100% sure on this one.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to help you all out. I'd love to know in the chat what you all think. So, converse is basically our conversation, right? And in a sensible fashion, to me, that means when you speak, does it make sense? Are you able to communicate in a way that gets your thoughts across clearly and succinctly? Ladies, this is a big one, especially with men, okay? I know. I'm a girl. I love all the and we like to talk and we like to go around the mountain and we like to do all of that. Men don't think that way and men don't talk that way and they don't like when we do it. So one of the things that I've had to do, and I love to give you all some tangible things that you can do, I try to think about the end in mind when I'm having a conversation. So before I say anything out loud, I've usually ran it through my brain several times to like chop it up and make sure that it's right. Because I've said this before, but a lot of times as ladies, we think as we are speaking. I am guilty of that. And so I'm working on thinking before I speak. So with men, I usually get to the punchline quickly. It could go something like this. Hey, babe, here are the updates. The cruise consultant has a cruise that's in November 27th through December 1st out of Port Canaveral. This is a situation that's happening at work. I need to travel on these dates. This is what's going on. But I literally like just give them the punchline and then I wait and let the man ask me for the detail. Oftentimes, ladies, we start with the detail and then it's really hard for us to land that plane because what I've learned is that men are listening for a problem to solve. Men are listening to find out, okay, how much is this going to cost? How much time is required? What do I need to do? So I start with that. And then if he's like, oh, really? What's going on? Then I'll give more. So I've had to reverse the order of my speaking. All right. Does that make sense, Rita?
Yes, that definitely makes sense.
All right. Any thoughts about it now before I go to the chat? Converse in a sensible fashion.
No, now looking at it, and I was right where I was gonna head. Pretty much stating that, just to be clear in what we're saying to our partner, and who we communicate with.
Absolutely. And ladies, this is practice. This is something, again, something that you can do for free. Um, and ask for feedback. There's nothing wrong with saying, when I'm talking to you, is it easy to understand? And listen and respond. It's not difficult. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Lisa loves the love language test. Absolutely. So Lisa says converse with sensible fashion means to talk with common sense. Yes, y'all, we all have it, or we should have it. Use your common sense. Keep it simple. I mean, the late great Kevin Samuels, how many times did we hear him say to women, talk to me like I'm a cocker spaniel or a third grader or something like that? I know we have our degrees. I know we have our six-figure salaries. I know we have all of that, but that's not important in a simple conversation. Just get to the point. Top Lobster says maybe that she isn't easily offended. That's a good thought. Sinji says, you got me going now, Maggie. I even have Mrs. Sinji do the Myers-Briggs and True Colors personality test. Yes, I've done that at work as well. So there's lots of tests, you all. There's the love languages, there's Myers-Briggs, there's strength finders. There are all of these self-assessment tests that you can order online, and it tells you kind of some type of strengths and weaknesses. And especially if you're in a relationship, it's great to take that test together and then see which areas you all are compatible in, which areas might be a challenge for you. So there's lots of them. Thank you, Sinji. All About the Mac says, exactly. I love YouTube. I just branch out to other social media platforms this year for business advertising. You're used to the old way. Ah, ladies. Christine says, avoid the rants. Yeah. We all have emotions. And as women, sometimes, can you believe? Find a way to de-escalate yourself. And whether it's going for a walk or counting to 10, y'all have seen me in the kitchen. But the rants are for you. So maybe you record yourself, maybe you put it in a diary. Don't stress your man out with a rant, especially if there's nothing that he can do to solve the problem. If you must, I'll give you all another free tip. One of the things that I do, if I've had a bad day with the kids or at work, I tell my guy, I'm like, I'm not asking you to do anything. I just need to say this. And so I've kind of let him know that I'm not really asking for an answer. I just need to get this off my chest. Does it work? No. Because when I'm done, he still says, well, you know you need to. And I'm like, oh, man. That's just a man, and we love him. Mecky says, watch your tone and listen, ladies. Yes, tone is so important. So many people have complimented me on that, and really it's just me responding to feedback. And yes, the listening skills, that's a whole nother module. Mel says, can you please repeat that one? I missed it. Absolutely. Mel, number 4 says converses in a sensible fashion. So this is from the movie Mr. Malcolm's List. This is his list of what he needs in a potential wife. Kia says she speaks well, intelligently, and knows how to have a conversation without nonsense. Yes, men are very logical, ladies. We are very emotional. That's just how we're built. And I think it's beautiful, but just keep that in mind because they put up with a lot from us on the emotional side. When believe me, on the inside, they're like, oh my God, make it stop. Trust me, I know. What does Thane say? Try to keep your relationship matters private. A lot of women wonder why their girlfriends snatch their men, ladies. Where do we even begin? And I have made the mistake too, sharing something that's going bad and sharing something that's going well. Sometimes you think, oh, this is so great. I can't wait to tell the world. No, ma'am. And this one was a hard one for me because I project that I'm genuinely happy when other people find love or have an anniversary or a gift or something like that. I'm genuinely happy for other people. And I learned the hard way, it's not reciprocated. So keep your circle small. And if there are people that you can trust, just share a little bit, but keep the details. Um, this is how I distinguish, and I learned this from one of my etiquette teachers. I will share personal things. I will never share private things. All right? Thank you for that. Shelby says, staying in topic, direct, and able to understand the conversation. I've learned to think before I speak instead of talking as I go now. Wonderful. Shelby has got it. Whitney says, facts. Good evening, Erin Laura. Shout out to Canada. Sinji says, bluff. Oh, do the bottom line up front. There's your acronym, ladies. So think about it. And if this is hard for you, make a list. Sometimes I've done that. I mean, I've practiced it now, but make a list because if you have, any man, whether he's high value or not, their time is so precious to them. So don't waste it on frivolous things. Get to the point, ladies. What does Rayanna say? Hey, y'all, have your words put together. Give a space for your man to interpret and respond in their time. I love that. One of my other consults is here listening. A man is going to move when he's good and ready. And there is nothing you can do about that. So I would suggest that we occupy our time, give him the information. Of course, if it's a timely decision that you need him to make, hey, should I buy the plane tickets or not? Then say that. We need to make a decision by this date. But if you've told him and he heard you, he will respond when he's ready. Now, that is a tough one as well. But nagging and trying to wrestle them down to get what you want, believe me, that's not what you want, ladies. Christine says, yes, men prefer short and concise version. Absolutely. You're welcome, Mel. Happy to help. The hubs is the best friend. That's the best way. I love it. I do love that. It's not always the case. Kia says, Thane, privacy is very important. Keep your business in your home. And you're right. They will snatch them up. Ladies, let me tell you, take this from an older woman. And I'm going to quote from my guy who gives it to me straight. Maggie, the older they get, they are quiet and they hunt at night. So be mindful. All right. So yeah, shout out the Godfather. All right. Y'all are talking about it. Yes, Miss Strong says everybody in your business is bad news. Oh, no, she is watching on delay. Thane says, yeah, them friends know how to sabotage a relationship quick for their benefit. Yeah, ladies, sometimes the same one telling you to leave him. Girl, I wouldn't. Girl, he should. Would be right there to snatch him up. Such a shame. Since G says, exactly, Maggie, we can listen, but we don't want a dissertation. Facts. They want the who, what, when, where, how, the plan of action, and a resolution. All right, ladies, you hear it from the men. They're telling you what they want. Everybody saying hello. Mel says, to be honest, I don't even want to hear nonsensical ramble either. Ladies, it's not for the men. Call your girlfriend, tell her everything about the shopping excursion. We want to know. Paint the picture for us. The men don't want to know. Thane says, correct. Resolute men are unflinching until they have made a decision, y'all. And you do not want to poke that bear. Once you have given him the information, occupy yourself. Sinji says, keep your friends and family out of your stuff. Your marriage is your business. I love this. All right, you all, let's go on to the next one. I believe this is number 5. Let me go to my blown up version over here. Charitable and altruistic. All right, Rita, what does charitable and altruistic mean to you?
For me, Maggie, that's just being kind and being unselfish.
Absolutely. You got it. So I Googled it for anyone who doesn't know. So altruistic, because I know some of these words we don't always use. The dictionary definition is selfless concern for the well-being of others. So basically, unselfish. Ladies, this is a big one. And I know as women, I mean, as humans, right? We all want what we want, right? We want to get to the front of the line. I'm special. I'm first. But men are watching. They watch the way you treat other people. They are watching not only the way you treat them, of course, we're going to treat them well, right? Because we want something from them. We want the proposal. We want the last name. We want the relationship. But how do you treat people who can't do anything for you? The wait staff, elderly people. Sometimes you have to cut your family off, but how do you treat your own family? So I think this one goes, pretty straightforward. You all can put in the chat, men or women, what that means to you. Charitable and altruistic. And then the charitable, are you a generous person? Are you a giving person? And it doesn't always have to be money, ladies. We know sometimes you have it and sometimes you don't. But do you give of your time? Do you try to help? Not running yourself into the ground, but is there a charity about you? If someone has a question, do you take the time to answer a question? Yes, I think it's important. What does Lisa say? Are you helpful to those around you? Yes. Meki says, are you generous? Absolutely. Kia says, a person that is giving, kind, and unselfish, and she doesn't mind serving others. This is a big one. Y'all know me with the snacks, but for me, it is so normal. I really get a joy out of serving, not only my man, the kids, any company that I have, but are you selfish the way you show love? Are you the first one to belly up to the table and everybody else can fend for themselves? Mm-mm. It's not attractive, ladies. What does Sinji say? Character is the intelligence in many dimensions and grace. How you treat the janitor will say a lot about someone or anyone in general, regardless of socioeconomic status. That is so true, ladies. And remember, the men are always watching. All right. So let's see what's next on the list. Number 6, has genteel relations from good society. All right, so this one is a little bit old English. What do you think this one means, Rita? Has genteel relations from good society?
I think for this one, especially after seeing the movie, who you're related to and how they're making you look. So we definitely have an example here of someone who wasn't who was not very elegant, who was related to the main character.
Absolutely, ladies. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. The company you keep and the family you come from matters. It is what it is, especially back in the past, but even now, you're not just marrying one person. Of course, you can elope, but you are connecting two families. Um, I think about it now, even, 10, 12 plus years past divorce, it's like my in-laws are still, papa, and we're forever family. We wrap our arms around these boys, and it's important to me. And as a future mother-in-law, the boys are teenagers, I am looking at the women that they choose. Of course, you like what you like, but what's important to me is, does she come from a good family? Now, why is that important? Because sometimes people will say, well, it's not my fault that I was raised this way, and it's not my fault that I didn't have this. Okay, now that is true. You didn't get to choose your family. But the reason why it's important is because men and future mother-in-laws look at the example that you had growing up? Did you see a wife submitting to her husband, or did you see a strong-willed mother that ran the house and everybody else? Did you experience what it is like to have structure and discipline and a routine? Or were the kids running around like monkeys because nobody had any type of control? Did you see hard times? Did you see good times? Did you see people working through problems? Or were you here, there, and everywhere? It is so important. I learned so much from my parents by not what they said, but the example that they gave coming up, in this country as immigrants, taking whatever job they could, delayed gratification, working hard, raising a family. That is the stock that I come from. So things don't, rattle me if the item that I wanted to buy is out of stock. It's not the end of the world. So this was important in the movies, but I think this is important to be said. So, what is the solution? Again, you come from where you come from. I would say be honest about your family. And again, this is if you're looking for something serious. If it's casual, do what you do. That's not me. But if you do come from a dysfunctional family, be aware of that, be able to communicate that. And if you have to cut some people off so that you can break this cycle and establish something healthy, then do that and be strong enough to do that on your own. Don't let the man that you want to be with tell you your aunt is a troublemaker, and I don't want her around. You should be coming to him saying, yeah, this is that side of the family. I only see them a couple times a year. It's always something, but I keep them at arm's length. That shows discernment, that shows growth and maturity. And the man can say, I've got the kind of woman that knows how to read people who have her best interest or people who are just trouble. So you may have to seek that out. We talked about this in another stream. If you didn't have that example, find spaces that give you what you didn't get growing up. Sorry, my voice is getting raspy. But it is very, very important, ladies. Don't think that you're just one special person out here and you got a train wreck of a family behind you. Because I'm already telling the boys and their teenagers, don't bring anything crazy home. All right. Let's see what you all have to say in the chat about this one. Genteel relations from good society. All right. Let's see. Izzy Figueroa. My first time seeing you. Thank you so much for being here. Sounds like a Proverbs 31 woman. Mecky says, I like serving as well. It's my happy place, y'all. It really is. Whoever said they were sad, I'm not cooking. I know. We'll be back in the kitchen tomorrow. But I think you all are liking this. Thane says, modern day comfort go-to is slacks and pants. Uh-oh, ladies. The men want to see you. He says, remember, dresses still exist and the men are always watching. If you all forget, that is the takeaway from today's class. Ladies, the men are always watching. I love wearing dresses. I'm wearing a sweater and leggings today, so I'm guilty, but I always try to dress. My guy said the same thing. Summer is coming. Go to TJ Maxx. Y'all know I'll wear an old Navy dress. Get a dress that fits you and it's just feminine, If that's something you're interested in, that's what the men like. You know me, I say give them what they like. Lisa says, do you come from a good family background? Ladies, it's important. Top Lobster says, do you associate with people who your man would not be embarrassed of? Ding, ding, ding. That's a good one. And not only your family of origin, you all know your friends that are messy, that are ratchet, that don't represent you well. There may be some people that you don't bring around him. If they want to get together once in a blue moon, y'all go to the movies and laugh it up and get caught up. But a man of substance is not going to allow you to embarrass him. Nope. Kia says, what are your family values and morals? Cold Fusion. Hello, my dear. She says, I have a hard time balancing truthfulness with kindness. How do you call people out tactfully? Honestly, I don't. Unless It's important to me. If I see a random stranger acting crazy, I let them act crazy and I handle myself the way that I handle myself and I act accordingly. Now, if it's a family member or a friend, of course, you can correct them privately, but often I ask. I noticed your social media post was interesting. Would you like some feedback as to how that may come across? And if they say no, I say no. I say nothing. It's not our job to fix the world. My job is to be the best version of myself for the people who are invested in me. The world is the world. Now, when I am correcting someone, I try to keep this same tone and do it in love, but I just don't go out there telling people what they need to do with their life. That's not what I do. Seed retention is here. Maggie's dropping bombs. I have tulips and bombs and hearts. I hope that's a good thing. Thank you so much for that. What does Thane say? Your family name should be a source of pride and respect. Your background and the lineage matters. Ladies, don't even get me started about some of these hot topics, but just know that it's important. And again, if you didn't have the best head start, what have you done since then? How are you working on yourself to make it better? If you've made mistakes, are you investing in ways that you can get better so that the next time he sees you, you are a better version of yourself? But yes, it matters. It absolutely matters. So a lot of it is out of your control. But once you become an adult, you're responsible. So don't think that you can just be out here doing what you want to do and there's no consequence, because the men are always watching and you may have disqualified yourself without even knowing it. All right. Seed retention says teach. Centennial says preach. Oh my goodness, y'all, really? Just an older woman with some common sense and some life experience. I've been through some things, and we have Rita here who sponsored this stream. She asked me to review this movie, so I thought it would be a great teachable moment. Cold Fusion says, I would like an answer to this one too. Oh, how to correct people. Casually says, I come from a masculine, female-dominated house, being the first lady to embrace her feminine energy. How will this look to a man? Will it show how dedicated I am to do what I believe is right and being traditional? I would say yes. So, gentlemen, I would love to know your thoughts on this, but I love what you said casually. So, ladies, you all know that I have, you all have seen Nana. So I come from a very traditional background. But if you don't, and you had a masculine mother for whatever reason, and now you're an adult and you can make some decisions. The first part of it, like Kevin Samuels always used to say, shout out to the Godfather, God rest his soul, is self-awareness, okay? So understanding that that was not normal. Mom did the best that she could and she took on those masculine traits, but you don't have to continue that. So I would say the first thing is self-awareness and recognizing that. And this is not about changing mom. This is not about blaming mom. This is not about saying, you did this to me. Our parents did the best they could, full stop. But now that you're here, hello, everyone. Now that you're here, you see those behaviors and then you have a decision to make. Is this something that you want to continue, or is this something that you want to change? And so when you see her come through the room, come through the house, and yell from downstairs, upstairs, hey, you can say, wow, that's an option. Or I can quietly walk up the stairs and say, excuse me, do you have a minute? So you can learn from everyone, you all. I learn from people what to do and what not to do. And then lastly, I would say casually, find a space. You're welcome in this community. Y'all can join my free Patreon, but find a space that promotes the behavior that you do want. I am on my own journey because I'm a boy mom, because I work in technology and I've been corporate for so long. That environment was all that I knew. I want to be different, so I move intentionally. So hopefully that helps. Seed retention says Maggie is a gem. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad you all like it. What does Thane say? The fact that you are cognizant of that fact means you're well on your way. Ding, ding, ding. Self-awareness. So that, in all honesty, just knowing that this is the example that I have and I want to be different, that's a huge step in the right direction. Thank you all for the likes. I appreciate you so much. What does Shelby say? I'm a struggle is taking the good and learning from the bad. There are some things that happen generations in family I vowed myself not to repeat. Absolutely. We got Mona in the house. Hello, my dear. Thank you all for liking the live stream. Miss Strong says, I love dresses, and that's why I wear dresses for every stream. I try to wear dresses for every stream. Yeah. I think about you all. When I'm going to be cooking and you're going to see me in the kitchen, I look in my closet and I try to find something that you all are going to like. I always want to represent myself well, and I want to represent you all well, and I want to age gracefully. Lisa says dresses are always what my husband buys for me. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what the men like. Give them what they like. It's free. All about the Mac says, yes, Maggie. I tell my grown boys too. Don't you bring any foolishness here. Oh, you already know. Sinji says, we may be stealth mode, but we're vigilant and observant of those in our presence and the environment surrounding us, ladies. That's the takeaway. Men are always watching, always watching. I always feel like, y'all, I've been holding back a song for so long. Sinji is watching me. Oh, I know. The outburst. I know. Focus, Maggie. Oh, God. Seed retention is looking and giving me tulips. Urban self-defense says that's true. Thane says, Lisa, men are simple and visual, like you probably know. Shout out to OnlyPans. Yes, y'all, the OnlyPans merch has been launched. Check out my YouTube community tab. I have an apron, t-shirt, and hoodie on the way. You will not find Maggie on OnlyFans. You will find Maggie on OnlyPans every day. And for anybody who ever wondered, yes, I'm in Atlanta. Do I remember Freaknik? I remember driving by. You do not have to worry at all. Maggie is not making a TikTok video. I saw it and I drove right by it. So you all don't ever have to worry. I will never do anything to make you embarrassed. Freaknik came to Atlanta, but Freaknik did not come to Maggie. So don't worry about it. Hulu can do their special. You will not see this face. All right, let's see what else. Jessie says, I actually had to go against what I was taught growing up and cultivate the feminine woman I wanted to be. There you go. I use the Bible to be my example. Absolutely. Sorry, y'all. I get kind of raspy. I'm embarrassed about it. All right, let's try to wrap this up. Yes, y'all are looking at all hours. Mel says, I always wanted to know how to handle this. Thank you for reaffirming that a dysfunctional family does not define us. No, knowing what it is, but knowing it's not normal and knowing that you can change and it's okay. And if people don't like it, that's okay too. Oh, let's see. Where am I in the chat? Mona says, I love a good dress. Y'all know I love the summertime is coming. Oh, I can't wait. All right. Yes, thank you, Thane. Thank you, Thane. I do my best for progress. Cedar Tension says, Maggie, you're glowing. Am I glowing or am I just shining? Y'all know I'm a woman of a particular age. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Miss Strong says, yeah, I like that advice, Maggie. People definitely have to discern when to address other people's behavior. Yeah, it's just, if it's not family or somebody that matters, just let it be. But notice it and do the opposite. I use it as teachable moments for the boys all the time. When they were little, y'all know how it is. You go into the store and you see some kid. Where did I took them to one of those trampoline parks or something? And this boy wanted something from the concessions. And his mom said no. And when I tell you that boy laid prostrate on the ground in front of the concession counter, people with their popcorn and stuff had to step over him and he's yelling on the floor, and the mom is like, come on, Timmy, come on, Timmy. I looked at Alex and Marcus and I said, no words. Try it if you want to. So, but did I go talk to that mother? Did I go talk to Timmy? No, we're not doing that. Stella says I'm tardy. You're never tardy. We're having a good time here. Y'all can come late, you can leave early, you can multitask. I'm just happy that you're here. I'm glad you all like this. Send Jesus Maggie 2024. Make elegance great again. Yes, we will do that. We will do that. I will be your president, your elegance presidential candidate. I am coming out with a course, you all. I've got the outline already done. It will be a basic femininity and elegance course with etiquette, just a culmination of some of the stuff that I've learned, mistakes that I've made. I will put that together for you all. So yes, we'll make elegance great again. It's an amazing tool. Becky says, this is amazing. You like it? Wonderful. Kia says the men are very observant, and I admire my husband's observances because I miss things. He will definitely call it out. Absolutely. Y'all, I stream on so much stuff, I forget what I've told y'all, and I'm older. So if I've already said this, let me know. But I'm guilty of this. When I go out with my guy, I'm just on the inside, I'm kind of like, oh, this is so exciting. And look at this and look at this. And he's like constantly head on a swivel. We're not parking over here. We're walking down the street. He's looking behind us. And I'm just like, I'm just happy to be here. I don't think like a man because I'm not a man. Men are always watching. It's just primal to them. They are protective. They're scanning the environment. The enemy is always at the gate for a man. So ladies, you need to know that and make it easy for them to protect you. There's no reason that you should ever put a man in any kind of danger because of your behavior. His world is already dangerous enough as it is. All right. So that's why I always wait a minute. Another one? Thane. Yes, Thane wants OnlyPans merch. I am going to pull it up and show you all. I'm going to go to the Maggie store so you can see it. Rita, I'm coming back to this, but I do have OnlyPans merch. Shout out to 10 Plus Sounds. Let me just see if I open up WhatsApp. The logo, and I will drop the link for the store. Let me see if I can pull this up. But shout out to 10 Plus Sounds. He made some merch so you all can see it. Let me see if I can. Oh, I don't know if it'll show here. Yes, I'm going to show you all the store and I will drop the link so you can see we have OnlyPans merch. Y'all know stream sponsors come to the front of the class. Let me see if I can share with you guys. Oh my God. Thank you, Thane. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, it's here. Am I sharing this? Okay, I think I'm sharing it. So this is the logo, okay? This is the OnlyPans logo. Let me see if I can get the other merch so you all can see it. I'm gonna pull it up. Let me go to my store so you all can see what I ordered. My stuff. Let me sign in. Okay. So I do have a Zazzle store. I'm going to put the link in here for you all so you all can see what I just ordered. Let me share my screen. Okay, Sinji. We were on OnlyPans. He says only headboards if you act accordingly. We are family friendly here. He says, support IKEAs across the world, ladies. Thank you so much, Sin G. But let me show you all what I just ordered. All right, so this is the Maggie store. Let me drop the link. But Thane, if you would please tell me your size and a shipping address, I will get you whatever you want. All right. So this is the Maggie store on. So I just ordered this. Let me see. Is it showing? So there's the OnlyPans hoodie. And of course, ladies, you can get it in a t-shirt, V-neck. You can edit it with your name. You can change the color, all of that. So I have that. I also, the t-shirt, and you all know this is coming. You all know this is coming. Let me get a big one for you. Y'all know the OnlyPans apron is coming. The OnlyPans apron is coming. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Rita. Okay, back to the movie. But yes, so anything that you all want, I made t-shirts, hoodies, and aprons for now. If you all want any other merch, towels, cups, whatever, let me know and I will make it. Excuse me. And I dropped the link to the store. Excuse me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Thane. Thank you, Sinji. Oh my gosh. So yes. And Thane, I don't know if you're on any social, but I'm Maggie the substitute teacher at gmail.com. I would love to make a care package and ship it to you on me. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Here we are. Okay. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm behind, but I have to. I got some feedback last time, ladies, and that's another thing. This one is not on Mr. Malcolm's list, but ladies, one of the things that my guy tells me all the time and he compliments me is how I take feedback. I got some feedback in the last Q&A that I didn't respond quickly enough to the super chats. You all know I try to go through everything in chronological order, but as we grow, I was behind and we have some new people that were like, why is she not reading my super chat? Is she not getting them? So we're not at the point yet where I can only read super chats, but I will fast forward to them because you all don't even have to be here. But when you support me like that, I have to. I have to. So, okay. So we were here with Meki says, this is amazing. Okay, yes, your husband always calls it out. Yes, Mona, were you not feeling well? I need to send you a care package. What does Cold Fusion say? I love that advice, Maggie. Thank you. I'm going to try keeping my opinions to myself unless they're asked for. Absolutely, ladies. It's just not worth the stress. Now, of course, if it's your family member or your man, but if other people are acting crazy, y'all saw that video that's going viral about me? MTR was like, look at Maggie's face. If y'all haven't seen it, I'll pull it up at the end. Yes, you love that about men. They protect and provide for us. They're incredible. What does Thane say? Correct. Men see the bonnet, the bad hair day, the slacks day, the flip-flop day, the bad attitude day, and all the opposites. Many men are constantly evaluating. So ladies, if you're not getting the results that you want, and I'm not a dating coach, I am not a guru. I've just been in 2 long-term relationships. So if my experience is helpful, I'm happy to help. But ask the men that are close to you that you trust. It could be a brother, it could be a friend, coworker, uncle. Ask them for feedback. How do you show up? Um, I made that mistake and I asked and I got some feedback and I was like, ooh, okay. But it could be the gift that gives you what you need to make some changes. Mona, you're making progress. Wonderful. We have Murphy Omni Essence. It says to balance truthfulness with kindness, mix in a quart of good intentions with a pound of emotional intelligence. I love it. Seed Retention says facts. Shelby says, I strive learning good from the bad. Yeah, I know, y'all. We're on different devices. Y'all are laughing. Sinji and his IKEA headboards. Oh, dear me. All right. Seed is looking, got the watching eyes. Thane says Galveston Beach Freaknik. Yeah. Freaknik came to Atlanta. I remember it, y'all. I could tell you some things that I saw. Traffic, it just locked down Atlanta traffic, y'all. It was crazy. And people would get out of their cars and would just walk up to cars. And it happened to me. Like, I'm in traffic. I think I'm trying to get to work. And it was so like locked. People would come and like just start pulling on the door handles because they thought everybody that was there for a good time. Not Maggie. You got the wrong one. You don't do that. All right. Miss Strong and Thane, you agree? Y'all are observing and evaluating. Seed retention is happy. All right. To balance truthfulness. Okay, we talked about that. Linda says, my late husband, my condolences. My late husband always complimented and commented when I wore dresses, which was often. They are comfortable and quite forgiving. Ladies, Absolutely. You can find dresses in all kinds of styles. That's one of the things I had to learn. Once you learn your body shape, we all have a body shape, and things that look good on us and things that don't look good on us. And it's part of putting that capsule wardrobe together. So whether you're a little bit bigger in the middle, or you have good legs, you can find something. So thank you for that, Linda. I appreciate it. Oh, we have Real Bravado here. He says, excellent breakdown. Thank you, sir. All right. Ding, ding, ding. Look at Thane. Absolutely agreeing with Linda. Yes. Timmy would have gotten embarrassed if that was my Nana. Exactly. Little Timmy having a fit at the concession stand. Oh, yes. Real Bravado had a great stream last night. King is listening in. Meki says, I was raised as a princess and act like a man when I was a teenager, now trying to become a lady. It's a work in progress. Absolutely, ladies. I don't always get it right. I make mistakes. Sometimes I'm a little sillier than is appropriate. I've gotten that feedback too, but we can all get better. And men give you credit for trying. You don't have to be perfect, but if they see you putting in a good effort, they see that too. All right, everybody saying hello, Maggie 2024 for Elegance, the Elegance campaign. No other campaign here. Black's Tropical Homesteads. What's up, beautiful soil system, Maggie? Thank you for the compliment. First time seeing you here. Lisa, oh, y'all, the OnlyPans merch is coming, y'all. I've dropped the link. You can get your OnlyPans merch. Absolutely. I fought it as long as I could, but y'all won't find me on OnlyFans. You'll find me on OnlyPans. Thane with the heavy hand. Yes, it's easy to make me cry. All right, let's just see. Shelby says, I intentionally think about how I want to view myself and how I want my future husband and future children to perceive me. And I want them to say she was loving, approachable, nurturing, and a feminine woman. That is my mission. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you all, we've talked about this in other streams. Think about your feminine ideal, even if they were widows, right? Jackie O, Coretta Scott King, so many women that went through a lot. But look at how they carried themselves. No one would dare speak a word against them. We can do it. Thank you for supporting Thane. Okay. Lisa says, I'll never forget on my honeymoon, my husband looking around in Mexico for danger. Yes, they're always protecting us. Sinji with the headboards. Black's Tropical Homestead says, my husband is always on duty. He will never sit with his back to the door at home or in public. Absolutely, ladies. So when you have a man that is protecting you, it's not controlling. It's because they care. Now, of course, there are extremes, and I am not a doctor, but all I'm saying is what I know is that men who care, they do these things. The ones that they don't care about don't get the protection. We have a lot of protection in our community. You all know who you are, and I appreciate you so much. Oh, yes. Shout out to Thane. The men are crazy. Oh, they support me so strong. So strong. Oh, y'all like the OnlyPans? Oh, all right. I'm just going through. I need to slow down the chat. Okay. I need to figure out how to do that. Priceless reaction. Oh, the shorts on IG. Oh my gosh. Another one. Real Bravado Network coming in with $50. Thank you. You're so generous to me. So generous. Y'all don't even have to be here. He supports Sinji's last super chat. Shout out to the headboards. Y'all, I'm drawing the line. We can't. Real Bravado. Rihanna likes dresses with pockets. Y'all know I love the dresses with pockets, but Real Bravado, thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful. Thank you. Dresses with pockets, seed retention with the flowers. Y'all love the OnlyPans. Mona says, yes, ladies, you just picked up a cute dress with pockets. Now you have it in all the colors. Yes. The chat is moving okay. Thank you, Mona. I think as a managing moderator, you can slow it if you need to. That's part of the capsule wardrobe. When you find something, y'all know my 1950s West Side Story dresses. I order one from Amazon, $35, and I try it on. If it fits well, I get multiples. Yes, you can build that out like a uniform. Lisa says, I learned early to make sure my husband has a view of the exits before I sit down. Uh-oh, Wilbert says they better not come for our Maggie. We're going to protect over here. He's watching from the clouds. All right, y'all, let me go to the next one. Thank you all for the engagement. All right, Rita, let's see what we have next. I finally got the big version over here. I'll just keep it up. All right, so we got to number 6. Number 7 says candid, truthful, and guileless. All right, so what do you all think that means? Rita, I'm coming to you. Number 7 was candid, truthful, and guileless. Do you want to take a stab at that one?
Open, truthful, and innocent.
Ah, very good. Yes, innocent and without deception. That is the definition that I got. So, you want to give any other context on that one? What that means to you? Number 7, how you would exhibit that today?
I think for this one, just overall honesty, having pure intentions. You don't want someone to think that you are pursuing them for the wrong reasons.
Absolutely. Honesty is the best policy. I mean, ladies, in relationship, if you're looking for marriage or long term, you're looking to be in a relationship with a man for the long haul. Life is hard enough. Bring your best self. A lot of times we used to hear the late, great Kevin Samuel saying, coming into a conversation with good faith. I don't have a lot of experience dating. I met my ex-husband at 18, married him after college, married 10 years, loved being married, and then since then been in a long-term relationship. But when I talk to my friends that kind of do this casual dating, there's just a lot of game playing. And as a boy mom, I'm very protective and it worries me. And that short win that you might get getting a meal or a purse or a pair of shoes or whatever, you will end up with that object, but you'll end up alone. I prioritize relationships, so keep the game playing, be honest, ask for honesty, and at least if it ends, you can leave with your head held high that you brought your best self and exit with grace. Yes, but no deceit. We don't play games over here. All right. Miss Strong loves a dress with pockets. You feel like you hit the lottery? Absolutely. Top Lobster says, I love wearing dresses, but I feel like I'm being too extra at school. I love it. I love it. People look at me, what are you all dressed up for? I just feel better in a dress. Absolutely. Thank you all for the support. I can't thank you all enough. Oh, this community, you're so generous to me. Thane, Zinji, Real Bravado. Y'all don't even have to be here, but you keep giving and everybody just watching. You keep me company. I appreciate it. All right, so let me just go through the chat. Thane says forthright. Yes, be forthcoming, ladies. Don't make conversations hard and knock it off with the one word, I'm fine. No. But one of the things I've learned to do in my relationship, if I'm having a bad day, I'll say so. Babe, there's nothing that, you need to fix. I just had a rough night with the kids. Just let them know I just need to sleep on it and I'll be fine. Be an adult about it. Honesty is important. You like the advice? I forgot it already, but the internet is forever. She has to be honest and genuine. Absolutely. All right, let's keep going. What is next? All right, we are down to number 8 of his list of 10. Number 8 says possesses musical or artistic talent. That's pretty straightforward, but Rita, what do you think about number 8? How would we exhibit that one?
I think to just have a hobby that you can actually go to, and I think, of course, for musical or artistic talent, it's something that you can enjoy that your partner can also enjoy. So it's something that we could also try to do in modern day as well.
Absolutely. I mean, ladies, this movie was set in the 1800s, right? So they had the piano and they had the fireplace. Now we know we live in a time where we have a lot more options, but on his list, he's basically saying, do you have any other qualities besides just the work that you do. And we all have some type of gift. It could be musical. It could be like to Rita's point, it could be gardening. Do you have any interests? Can you bring any culture to the conversation? Now, of course, not overboard. You don't have to have traveled the world and speak 7 languages, but be mindful of yourself. If you have a conversation with a man and all you talk about is work, that's a problem. So find some things that bring you joy. You all know for me, it's cooking. I'm in the kitchen. I also go to the symphony. I go to the ballet. I love to do things that I love experiences, of course, wholesome, modest experiences, but have a life about you. What does Sinji say? There used to be the days where we would ask, "Do you like me? Yes, no, or maybe." Y'all remember that? Check the box in school. You like me? Yes or no? The game has changed big time. Nothing is simplistic. I'm a simple girl. Y'all know I always say I'm a small town girl with big dreams. We don't have to play games, and men would really appreciate the transparency. Shelby says, "My mom always told me that it's better to be overdressed than underdressed. Be presentable every time you leave the house." Yes, because you never know what detours may occur. Absolutely. Kia says she has to have a craft or talent. Absolutely, ladies. And if you don't have one now, find one. Make time to learn something. You never know. You could meet somebody there. A photography class, art, music. There's stuff in every community. Go to the museum, find something. What does Najia say? You asked my husband how I showed up, and he was sweet enough to lie and say I'm beautiful either way. Oh, shoot. Then I discovered Kim and Samuels lost the weight, and once I did, he stayed with a smile on his face. Beautiful. Yes, ladies, ask for feedback. And the way we respond speaks volumes, because if a man tells you, you're kind of, what was the feedback that I got? I had a bad habit of jam packing a schedule. If we were going on a cruise or whatever, I want to do this excursion and that excursion. And he was like, "Babe, you're kind of a lot." And I was like, "Really?" So now I've narrowed it down to one thing per day. So don't get offended. If you've asked for feedback and they give you feedback, even if it hurts, act on the feedback. Because if you have a fit or you try to argue, but, the next time they're just going to lie. And then you'll wonder why things aren't progressing. What does Thane say? Artistry today is what do you mold as a woman in your house, home that you do not buy? What do you mold as a woman in your house or home that you do not buy? What do you cultivate? What do you do to make your house a home that's not something tangible that you've purchased? I think that's what you're saying. Y'all saying is so poetic. I'm struggling. I think I got it. Black's Tropical says so much in this world to learn, and I love it. Yes, you all. That's what I do in these streams. Like I saw this movie last night, and I'm bringing it to you all. When I travel or go to new restaurants, we do the dining documentaries. So this is what we're going to keep doing in this space. I love it. I'm glad you're here. What does Wilbert say? Fun fact: if you learn a musical instrument, it opens the part of the brain that also helps you learn languages easier. How about that, ladies? Get an app. Learn a language. Anything. This is wonderful. Black's Tropical says, I've learned to garden and make everything with what we grow: personal hygiene products, cleaning products, medication, and so much more. I love being homemaking and creating new things. Absolutely. Thane says, I got it. Yeah, I want to make sure that I am worthy of all of this support. All right, y'all, let's go through the last. I think we have 2 more, and then we are done. What's on his list? Number 9, amiable and even-tempered. All right. What does that mean to you, Rita?
Basically, just being friendly and pleasant. So I think back onto one of the comments that I saw, just always have a smile.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sinji. How do you make a house a home? Yes, ladies, the man buys the house, but we turn it into a home. Thane says, yeah, that right there. All right. So being amiable. So I did Google it. The definition is having or displaying a friendly and pleasant manner. Absolutely. What Rita just said, ladies, this is free. Do you greet your man with joy? Are you happy to see him? Do you tell him that? Do you compliment him? Our men work so hard and they're out here slaying dragons to protect and provide. The least you can do is be pleasant when they come home. One of the things that I do, and we don't live together, but when my guy comes over, even if it's at the end of a long day, I always make sure, I mean, I look nice pretty much every day, but, I'm freshly showered. I put on a dress, run a comb through my hair so I'm not looking homeless. I always have a plate for him. But when he comes through the door, I stand up and I greet him and I give him my undivided attention and I smile with my big toothy smile and I tell him, "I'm so good to see you." And I give him a hug. It's free. Why not? Be pleasant. If this is hard for you, you can practice it. This is something for me that is natural. I've always been that way, but you can put some effort into it because there are things that might be easy for you that are hard for me, like fitness. All right. Kia says she should have a meek spirit. Yes. Black's Tropical says being the peace. That's what our men want, ladies. Oh, if you would figure out how to be a peaceful place for them. Mona says 100. Meki says manage your anger at all the time. All the time. Do I get angry? Yes. Do I stay angry? No. Things happen. The kids act up. Anything could happen. Now, I don't get mad easily. I think that's just my natural personality. I am very joyful. But when I do get upset, I'm very clear about it because you'll know I'll get quiet and I kind of pull back. And I'll tell my guy, this was a really rough day at work or something happened. You make it up. And he knows me well enough. I have kind of like a 24-hour cycle. He's like, go ahead and take your 24 hours, where that means I might be a little bit quiet for the day. Now, of course, if you need anything, I'm here, but I might not be as engaging. But then if I say I need to sleep on it, I sleep on it, and the next day I'm better. So do not take out your anger unnecessarily on the ones close to you. Our men don't deserve that. Absolutely, Mickey. Top Lobster says, be able to have a hard conversation with your man, even if it's difficult. Yes. Yes. That's part of being an adult. And as a woman, I know we're emotional, but we may have to circle back to the first thing I said about communication. Even if you have all these emotions, write down your points so that you can make sure when we went to the barbecue and you didn't introduce me to anyone and I was kind of left alone to figure it out, it really left me kind of embarrassed and alone. And I don't like that. You need to be able to say the things, but not, how could you? Get to the point with a man. Ms. Strong says, yes, Maggie, I love the way you encourage catering to your man. I agree 1,000%. Absolutely. Because if I don't, who will? We can't have that. We can't have that, ladies. Yes, love him up. Thane says, anger is not bad. It's how you process, use, and channel it. Things that anger me motivate me. Spoken like a true man. Uh-oh, Sinji says, Maggie is cooking. Even without the apron, I'm cooking tonight. Facts. Y'all put a clip in my hair. Y'all got me. He says, all them freak Nick aunties. I'm sorry. All those freaknik aunties about to braid your channel for help. The twerk. Sorry, y'all. The twerks ain't. Okay, yeah. There is no footage. Like, that's not who I am. I'm a relationship girl. Like, no, absolutely. Thank you, Thane. I'm sorry. Thank you, Thane. And thank you, Sinji. Wilbert says, wow, so many arguments could be avoided if bad days were communicated beforehand. Yes, don't make your man have to figure that out. You know, if you're not feeling well, just tell him. Do what you need to do to get right and then get back in there instead of taking it out on the innocent. Good stuff. Y'all are laughing at me. Respect the real. I know. Freaknik aunties. Maggie is not your freaknik auntie. I'm here in Atlanta, but y'all watch that documentary. Get your popcorn out. You will not see this. Facts, NG. Black's Homestead said, I just mentioned how big my husband's shoes were being the protector provider. I encourage women to respect our men and we will be happy and forever blessed. I love it here, ladies. I love it. I told you all, if I haven't, when I got divorced, my ex-husband said, I thought you were driving this bus. And I'm embarrassed to say that and I'll never forget it. But you think you want to get out front Trust me, winter is coming. All right. Mona says, look at the flick of the wrist. Did I do something, y'all? I moved. Y'all are laughing. Y'all are laughing. Respect the Real has a question. I'll pin it. And then, sorry, y'all, my voice is starting to go. One last one. She has a question. Any tips on how to properly vet a man that you're dating? All right. We have a theme tonight. Let me get through one more, and then I'll see if I can answer that, if that's okay with Rita. All right. The last one. It's hard to read, but number 10 on his list says a forgiving nature. All right, Rita, what do you say about how we can be forgiving as women?
I think that this one is really powerful. I love the example in the movie, you don't let small things become big things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So a forgiving nature. So that's the end of the list. What does this mean to me? And this one is really easy to understand. Like Rita just said, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. And back to the one that we just talked about with when you're angry, don't let that anger sit in there and fester and then you blow up because of the toothpaste or dishes in the sink. If there's something that's bothering you, say that and work together to see if you can come up with a solution or just accept it. You know what? When he comes home and he takes off his shoes, they're just gonna be in this corner. I'm just gonna move them over to that corner. It's not the end of the world. If you got a good man, some things you're just gonna have to put up with because he's putting up with your things. So be forgiving. Now, of course, if it's something egregious, but we're not talking about that. We're not talking about the extremes, but if he said he was gonna pick up milk and, oh man, babe, I forgot it. Forgive. Just forgive. Save the energy for the stuff that's worth, um, having a moment about, but still communicate it in a way that's still loving because he already feels bad and you piling on is not helping. All right, so let's see what you all say. Lisa says they can always do better and be better examples to the younger women. Thank you. Murphy says emotional intelligence is the ability to be aware of and to regulate your emotional state. Mastering this is the key to being an instrument of peace. Oh, flick of the wrist. I was cooking. Thank you. Thane says, ladies become ultra feminine when there is mortal danger around. That is so true. Ladies, I'm telling you, we don't want the smoke. When it gets real, I'm looking at a man, and it doesn't even have to be my man. I'm a Southern girl. I'm just like, did you hear that noise? So let's not play games with them. If we're going to expect them to provide and protect, let's act accordingly at all times. Thank you. Sinji says I have to watch this film after searching for. While Sinji is searching for Freaknik on Hulu, oh my God. Y'all, this just throws me off. So the movie, Mr. Malcolm's List, I'll drop the link again so you all can see it where it's available to you. And again, this was a period piece, but this man basically had a list of requirements for his future wife and trying to see which ladies could make it. Oh, Cookie, y'all are laughing. I'm just looking at the comments. Yeah, she shouldn't hold grudges and be forgiving. Yeah, that whole grudges thing, ladies, no, no, no. It's not worth it. If you got a good one, no. And if you have the type of man that you can't easily forgive, maybe you have the wrong man. Sinji says exactly, Maggie, especially when milk is available through Instacart. There you go. If he forgot the milk, order some. It's not the end of the world. Give him a kiss and say, babe, I know you work so hard. Don't worry about it. Thane says, did you not partake in? Y'all are still talking about Freaknik. We are a wholesome channel. Okay, let me just go through. What did Wilbert say? Oh, there's a song. Y'all know I don't know. Sinji says, no, sir, Thane. I was hustling and struggling in college. Yes. I was about to go to college, but in high school. All right, so Broken college. Sinji says, stay focused, Maggie. I'm here to harness that awkward smiles. Yes, you make me blush. Period pieces are popular these days. All right. So, Rita, I am done with Mr. Malcolm's official list. We have a question on IG I will answer, but I want to get some feedback from you. You wanted me to cover this movie. How did I do, and how did you enjoy this episode?
Thanks, Maggie. I really, truly enjoyed this episode. I believe that you are a wealth of knowledge. You were truly, truly appreciated. I know that this was helpful for me, and I can only imagine that it was also helpful to everyone else.
Oh, thank you so, so much. So again, Rita has sponsored the stream. If you all like this and you want me to do something like this, just let me know. Rita came up with the idea. She asked me to review. We talked about a few etiquette things, but really the list is what I wanted to cover. So if you all want to be the stream sponsor, Real Bravado started the trend. You can sponsor an episode or a couple days or a week. So that just means you provide the movie to me so that I can watch it, and then I'll bring you up, or you can be audio only. All right, you all. So we have a question on IG from Respect the Real, and we will close with this. I'll give you all the commercial and then let you all have your evening, because Lead, I believe, is going to stream tonight. So Respect the Real says, any tips on how to properly vet a man that you're dating? Well, and again, I'm not the dating expert. I've been married and I've been in long term, so that's all I got. Excuse me. But if I were to date again, it starts with knowing the type of relationship that you want to be in. So it's like starting with the end in mind, right? So that means to me, and it's different for everyone, and I don't know enough about you to know if, do you want to be married? Do you want to have children? Are you dating? What is the purpose of dating? Now, ideally, the purpose of dating is to find relationship or long term. One second, y'all. Got a call from someone that I need to let him know I'm in a stream. So the purpose of dating is to find out if the relationship is compatible for marriage or long term. So if that's what you want, then I would say you would say that in the beginning. You don't put pressure, but you can say, I'm looking for a relationship, or I'm in the dating market for a relationship. And then you think about the type of relationship that you want. Do you want the traditional roles where you have a husband that's a provider and you're more of a support system? Do you want to have children? Would he be a good father? Even if he doesn't have children, are you seeing the qualities of him that I remember? Even my ex-husband, I used to watch him like tinker with stuff, and I'd be like, man, he'd be such a good dad to boys. He can teach them things, right? Is he doing those things now? If you're looking for a provider, is he working in a way that he's dedicated to his craft and you could live on his means? Or if you're not looking to have children, maybe it's a second marriage like me, is it going to be something 50-50 where you all don't have children and you work together and then you spend your disposable income to travel? Does he come from, a good family or good example, or has he made decisions to cut off people in his family that aren't helpful? But it's going to be different. And I know it's hard to say it depends, but Respect, I would say you want to think about and really think about the type of marriage or relationship that you want, and then look at those qualities. And if you're with someone that is not moving in the way that you can see yourself at almost 50, then you need to go ahead and cut your losses and exit with grace, and then find someone that is moving that way. Because ladies, our job is to get on his program. Every man has a program. Whether he plays video games all day and smokes, that is his program. So that's what you're signing up for. What you can't do is change him. So you have to observe how he carries himself. And if you can get on that program, then all the best to you. Hopefully that's helpful, Respect. Let me know if I answered your question. Hopefully that's helpful for all of y'all. Marriage and children are goals? Yes, absolutely. All right. All right, everyone. Let me just see what else y'all say. Hi, y'all enjoyed the live. Thanks for sharing the valuable information. Yes, a lot of etiquette and period pieces. Thane gave me a movie recommendation. I did a great job. Thank you. Amazing and informative. Extremely helpful. Oh my gosh, y'all, really? Oh, thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you for helping me to monetize my channel. You all know that I have a course. I've gotten really good feedback that it's excellent for beginners. You can preview it for free. Link is in the description. It tells you all about how I got monetized on YouTube in 4 months. Most channels take a year. You have lifetime access and it's $50. So that's my course. Cookbook is available for you all. I do have a cookbook. It is a digital download. So when you buy it, you get it immediately. It's $19.99 with a $5 coupon, and you can read the recipe, and then it also has a video of me cooking the recipe for you. We are going to reshoot the videos so that you all don't have to worry about like the super chats and all that stuff. We're going to shoot them and make them really clean videos for you and update the pictures from my photo shoot. But if you've already bought the cookbook or you want it now, you will get the updated version for free. You all voted on my best recipes, and that's what's in the cookbook. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can always book a Maggie meeting, 30 minutes or an hour, and you can talk to me one-on-one. If you're interested in that, you can join the almost free Patreon. It's $1. At the $5 level, you get the cookbook and the course for free, as like the what is it? The YouTube memberships. There's so many different ways to monetize, you all. Thank you so much to the stream sponsor, Rita, for sponsoring this stream, for coming up with the idea. Thank you to Real Bravado Network. Thank you to Sinji, and thank you to Thane Mithra, always coming through with the heavy, heavy hands. And most importantly, for the men in this space who protect. Not only do you provide, but you protect. You keep this a safe place for us. I do not take it for granted. And I want to make sure that I always carry myself in a way that makes it easy for you all to protect. All right. This was fun. Thank you, Mona. This is great stream. Okay, so you all, we have a new idea, a new series. Y'all like the movie review? Sinji says, have objectives and goals and intentions in dating. What are you looking for? Okay. Thane says, real story. I was once given an ultimatum to choose my gaming hobby or her. Guess what won? He says, I still game once in a while today. Yeah, ladies, we're not going to change them. Accept it or exit with grace. Another wonderful live. Oh, thank you all. This was great. Thank you. Oh my goodness, y'all. So I'll have to clip this up and give you some more gametality, teachable moments. Okay. All right. So if you all are watching Lead tonight, I'll see you in the chat. Tomorrow we are cooking 6 p.m. Eastern, cooking with Aisha. We're going to do another collab. The ingredients have been posted. If you're interested in doing the sushi tomorrow, get your ingredients. If you have any questions for me, you all know how to find me. Rita, do you have any questions before we close out or any final comments?
No other questions. Just thank you. Thank you so very much.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. TikTok class is dismissed. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Instagram, thank you all so much for being here. Class is dismissed. All right. And Facebook and YouTube. Rita, if you want to hold on one second, I'm going to go ahead and end the live. Thank you all. Class is dismissed.